Welcome to Veronica Live, and we are here with Veronica Live family member. That's what it's all about today. I've got our Millennial Minister of Truth, Drew Allen. And Drew, welcome back to Veronica Live. There's so much to talk about with you.
I know, there always is, right? There's no shortage ever.
No, and today, I guess I've been asking, my guests the last couple of days, did you actually watch the DNC? Because I took one for the team for 4 days. My husband abandoned me to watch Schitt's Creek in the other room, which would have been way more pleasurable. So, did you watch it, or did you just read all the transcripts?
No, I didn't sit there glued to my TV. I got more important things to do, like family, a daughter. But no, I watched enough of it. I watched the important speeches, and I had to do my podcast on it and talk about it, and so on and so forth, and pitch people on it. So I was obligated professionally to suffer through it, and it was enlightening, to be honest. I thought it was wonderful to some extent because there was actually quite a bit of transparency if you watched the DNC. In them showing who they truly were, whether it was Michelle Obama or Barack Obama or, Kamala Harris in the end. They all were pretty clear about who they are, radical communists, and they have no platforms except destruction. And so if you watched it, I think you would have left that, certain that you weren't going to vote for any Democrat ever. So here's the other thing I'll say about it. That saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I think that what happened in Chicago stayed in Chicago. And what I mean by that is all the acid-induced, drug-induced excitement they had about their candidate and their fake chances and how wonderful they were, they didn't leave. So they had a good old party and enjoyed, drinking together and probably sleeping with each other and so on and so forth. But the rest of America didn't seep out. There was no big bump for Kamala.
But don't you think? I'm jumping ahead here because I was like, oh my gosh, there's talk on X that RFK Jr. is going to endorse her, and I was like, please, Lord, let it be Thursday, please, 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 before she speaks. And then he spoke on Friday, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the way it should have been, because it shut all of the Kamala crap down for 4 days of Orange Man bad, and let's kill babies from a food truck. It shut it all down.
Yeah, the timing was pretty great, and they planned it that way. All these people out there that are looking for reasons to criticize Trump all the time, this is yet another example of his brilliance in terms of the coordination and strategy of his campaign. The reality is Trump is a brilliant tactician in many ways, and many of the complaints, some are well-founded. He came from a non-political background, so his first term he was surrounded by, crooks, rhinos, people like that led him astray and did him a disservice. But at the end of the day, he's a brilliant guy. We're lucky to have him. He's a phenomenon that we're never going to see again in our lifetimes. And I can't say enough good things about the guy. We're dealing with communists right now. Anybody who wants to sit here and attack and criticize Trump is a loser, in my opinion.
Well, we had Alan West on earlier today, and I'm going to release that interview. And I left all with hope and joy that I was winning, because I'm scared to death, Drew. I'm petrified. And Alan West was like, Veronica, no, we've got this, because I think people are seeing the craziness of these two commies, and that's what they are.
Yeah, this is your quintessential psyop, if you will. I think lately it's been overused, the psychological operation, so it seems to have a tone of it's kind of hyperbolic or whatever. But no, this is a psyop. The Democrats want to convince, the media wants to convince enthusiastic Trump voters out there that they should be sheepish about their support for Trump, that we should get on the defense and be worried that they're winning and that she's so popular. There's no realistic indication of that. You have a propagandist media that is doing everything they can to protect her and hide her from the American people. She's so popular, and her opinions are so great, her policies are so great, why are they hiding them? If the Biden administration was so popular and Kamala Harris, is now so popular, why would she not be eagerly going out and doing every interview she could? Because why would starve the American people from someone who's so obviously naturally engaging? It's not true. And Trump, in contrast, is going out there and doing every interview he can. Podcast, talking about his brother Fred's alcoholism and why Trump doesn't drink and smoke. I mean, just tremendous. I mean, you've got a tale of two candidates here, obviously. And in Kamala's case, she's hiding from the American people because she's so insecure. And I got to tell you, the reason she fumbles around and can't formulate a coherent thought, the reason she sounds like Joe Biden is because she knows that her beliefs and who she is appalling. And so she's fearful of actually expressing herself authentically because if people saw who she was, or she gives another comment like her price control scheme, people realize
the left media was like, no, and I've heard all of these, economic people, and they're just like, hell no, we can't do that, and then now she's pretending she wants to secure the border. Oh my gosh, that one's pushed me over the edge, especially because you're out in California, Drew, and we've seen Newsom now. I guess the legislature is pushing forward that illegals can get up to $150K for a down payment, and I'm like, what the hell? I can't even handle that. Yeah. That has pushed me over the edge.
Yeah. It's insanity. Look, we have to be confident about at least our candidate and our positions. I mean, I can't predict the future. I'm not going to blow smoke. I think that Trump will win, and I think he will win in a relative landslide. If you see the latest behavior from the Democrat Party, for example, Jack Smith coming out in defiance of Judge Cannon's, Eileen Cannon's,
I was going to ask you
so now
about
he's
that.
coming out and they're changing around. They're trying to repackage this this indictment.
It's awful.
Yeah, because look, I mean, you've heard Jamie Rath. When Trump wins, the Democrats are not going to accept the election result. So, they're going to try and do actually they're going to try and put together what Trump did last time, which was legal at that time. To contest the election results. And Jamie Raskin's come out and given an interview in which he talks about it. They're looking for ways to prevent him from being president, even if he's duly elected, just like they did. I mean, people have to remember that the Democrats have been fighting to destroy democracy since 2016. Trump-Russia collusion was a coup. So they are the threat to democracy, and they can project all they want. But I think enough Americans are savvy, and they get it.
So what do you think of this Jack Smith thing? I was curious about that when I heard it. It's like, wait a minute, all this is going to do is fire up. They think they depress the Trump base, with the Kamala Harris razzle dazzle, and then he comes along and does the exact thing that fires the base up. He wants to indict him again, and that's what gets the Republican side really mad and really motivated. They're attacking him again. Is there some kind of disconnect, or do they not really believe what their tactics are doing to strengthen Trump?
Well, there is a disconnect to some extent. There's always been a disconnect. On the one hand, I mean, they're doubling down on the strategy that we've seen, this lawfare, which you're right. I mean, it gets the base rallied up. It increases Trump's popularity in poll after poll, but they don't know what else to do. This has been their strategy from the beginning. They don't have a candidate that can run on ideas or policies. They're not competitive. These are two candidates, Kamala Harris and Walz. They are communists. That's not hyperbole. They are communists.
I agree 100%.
Yep. So in an absence of being able to be authentic and genuine, all they have is lawfare. So they don't have any other really weapons at their disposal, if you will, except to try and sully Trump. Because, look, you heard them give away the game at the DNC, too. All they talked about was Trump. And in contrast, Biden was only mentioned a handful of times at the RNC. And so they don't want this to be an election about policies or reality. They want this to be an election about perceived goodness. So Trump is a bad person who's been indicted, so you can't vote for him, even if he is going to improve your life. Kamala Harris, sure, she's a communist. Sure, she's going to destroy the country. Sure, you're not going to be safe, but she's a good person. That's what they're banking people make their decision on, not on whether or not the candidate is qualified.
Well, and we just had
a
former retired congressman on, and he said it's a likability contest because Trump has to entice the suburban soccer moms, and that's not going well for him, supposedly.
Yeah, that's not true, actually. I talked about this on my show recently. There have been a series of polls out there, and actually, Trump's doing quite well in certain suburban settings. So I disagree with that. I think that's kind of a.
Well, I think if you go to the grocery store and I shop at a bunch of different ones, and my discount store, I am not kidding, a box of stupid Cheerios is $8, and bacon normally is 10-ish. Who can afford that? You know what I'm saying? The normal person that doesn't have retirements and things they're living off of, and when they're working still, like the young people cannot afford that. I'm sorry, when you're buying Pampers and formula, and now the Cheerios is $8.
Well, and look, this is just kind of baked into people's attitudes right now. I mean, Trump can't do anything right in the minds of perhaps even that former congressman. I mean him zero disrespect, but I know people like that. That's fine. I'm a different animal. I push back on that. But look, I mean, that's so, I'll give you a perfect example. So what's one of the issues for so-called suburban moms? The abortion issue. So apparently these suburban moms love their abortions. They've never had them, but they love them. They want them more than water. And so Trump comes out and he creates a social media post, and he says, women's reproductive rights are safe with me. He comes out and says, I'm not going to do anything.
I was shocked by that. I was shocked by that post.
But my point is, he says this, and this should appeal to somebody like that congressman, right? I mean, that's the suburban mom's issue, and he doesn't get credit for that. He still gets attacked by the. So my point is, these people just, whatever reason. I mean, they just have this idea. They bought the media narrative. I mean, I guess they want the media to pick our candidate for us and be nice about them. So that's never going to happen. But I've been trying to talk people off the ledge about that Trump comment because he's the most pro-life candidate we've ever had. I mean, he is responsible for appointing the justices that overturn Roe v. Wade. And that's where it should be. Whether you're for abortion or not abortion, the constitutional position on it is that states have the right to determine their own abortion laws. It's not in the Constitution. It's not a right like the First Amendment or Second Amendment and so on and so forth. And so Trump is right. People are like clutching their pearls right now, and they don't understand that what we need to do right now is to our only objective is to beat the left. And so there are plenty of Democrats out there that don't like Kamala Harris. And so they're single-issue voters. So if you can convince them not to vote for Kamala on the basis of abortion or something else stupid, some single issue, whether they don't vote for Kamala or they vote for Trump, either way it's a win for us, taking a vote away from her, and that improves our chances. And so, Trump's position is that the federal government doesn't have a role in abortion. And that is what we fought for all these years.
But they keep twisting it. But do you think
they lie? They just lie about it. It's just flat lying about it because they're saying he won't sign a national abortion law or whatever, and it's like,
No, there shouldn't be a national abortion law. I mean, I'm as pro-life as a person as you can talk to on the phone. But we have to win over hearts and minds. I'm not a dictator. I mean, if we can't win that issue, we haven't done our jobs in the public square of promoting morality correctly, and we haven't. I mean, that's why we have many issues in the country, and so I just for the pearl clutchers out there that are now saying. I mean, this should be great for Democrats. They should love Trump if that's the position. Oh, he now supports abortion. That's not what he's supporting at all. But you have, so-called conservatives out there that say, oh, I can't possibly support Trump all of a sudden because he didn't come out and say he hates people that are for abortion. I mean, he's trying to win an election, and I mean, these people, I mean, look, these people are stupid. I mean, I guess it's late. So I'm not trying to, there are people that are listening that are probably offended. Drew, you're calling me stupid. Yes, I am calling you stupid because there's strategy involved to winning an election.
Well, and they're twisting
like
it. Now she's coming out for, she supports the border, no tax on tips. I'm like, what else is she going to steal that's Trump's, you know? And she's playing very, I don't know. What do you think is going to happen Thursday with this interview? And I put on X, which I know you are in X jail, and I was recently in X jail again, and then I decided to change my profile picture, which puts you in X jail too, because you don't have any movement. So I got my check mark back yesterday. John was so happy for me. But what do you think is going to happen on Thursday? Because I've been saying that, you know, she's got to do an interview with her commie lapdog, Timmy, because she's not even strong enough as a, you know, and it's funny because a lot of women are going after her going, why do you have to have somebody else in the room if you're a strong woman that wants to be the commander-in-chief? And I think she's going to have the questions ahead of time, honestly. She probably has them now.
Well, it's a taped interview, so it's not live. So,
taped and then cut
what they
and make
did with
you look
Biden.
pretty.
Yeah. No, it's propaganda, and it's with one of the worst offenders ever. I think it's Dana Bash, isn't it? Or whatever.
Yes. Oh, she just is in love with these people.
Yeah. She's hideous looking too, but that's not relevant. But yeah, no. It's a propaganda piece. I mean, we've seen J.D. Vance go toe to toe with her or Trump even in the past, and they can hold their own. And it's an adversarial interview. This won't be that. And you're right. I mean, she's bringing walls in to try and. I mean, what we're going to see is like a social media, 17-year-old scripted bullcrap is what we're going to see, which we've already seen. With her and Walls being like, I'm not black, so I don't like spices. I don't put spices on my tacos.
The stupidity, like I can't even when that video came out. I've been commenting and I've gotten hate. Somebody again said this week that I should have died for breast cancer. I felt like
I'm sure they didn't get suspended like you and me, but yeah.
Well, but my whole thing is you're going for the most important job in the entire freaking world, and you're talking about tacos and then the Dorito thing. I'm like, give me a freaking. I can't even take these people.
It's. But if you think about it, their voter base is so stupid that actually appeals to them. Like they don't want policies; they just want to see their candidate eating Cool Ranch Doritos and wiping their mouth with a napkin. Yeah. I mean that's all they need to see.
And the Doritos that used to cost $2 now are like $5. So they're not even smart enough to realize that. No, those things have pushed me to the edge, Drew. They've pushed me to the edge. I'm not coping well with the stupidity. I feel like they're just stupid.
But they're trying to show they're authentic, It was like Hillary with the Tabasco sauce. She always carries a little bottle of Tabasco in her purse, right?
Yeah, I do that too when I go into black communities too, just to be safe. I want to make sure I have my Tabasco so they like me. Hi, I'm very white, but I have Tabasco. Is that like? Will you accept me now?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Well, so I don't know. Where do we go from here? At least, and Tulsi was one of your clients, and I saw Tulsi last year, and I love Tulsi, so I'm very excited. And supposedly she's debate prepping Trump, so that warms my heart because she did kick ass to Kamala when she was running for president. So, and now we've got RFK Jr. on the team. I'm hearing the Green Party woman might join the team, and who's the independent black guy?
Jill Stein. That's big too. Yeah.
I'm waiting for Nicole Shanahan to say.
West.
I'm waiting for Nicole Shanahan to jump in and.
Yeah, but I saw her yesterday on, was it Jesse or something? Like she's on the way too because of the treatment. And you've got to feel sorry for RFK Jr. now, and now his family too. They're so dumb. They came out with their statement. But this is the family that was rallied around Dementia Joe at the White House, a few weeks ago. So I have nothing for his family.
Well, what a disgusting family. I mean, there's no more bigger lowlifes out there than the Kennedys. I mean, think about it. RFK Jr. is the only relevant Kennedy that is alive. Everyone else is a loser that has the Kennedy last name. They've never done anything. They're moochers. They're leeches on society, and they're morons. RFK Jr. Has walked the walk to a great degree. I mean, he has. Followed in the footsteps of his uncle and father, and the reason his family is doing this is because they have nothing going for them. They are so desperate for relevancy that they will attack their own kin in order to make headlines.
That his nephew was like, that he was up for sale, and his tweet was "FU" spelled out, and I thought that was hysterical. And it's been rough because since he's come out for Trump, they've said, they have some video when he was young saying he was a cocaine dealer, and then the other one was that he had like 57 affairs. So that's the thing, is the left will destroy you when you're not playing in the sandbox the way they want you to play.
Yeah. And then, and with them, there's nothing off limits. But if you bring up the fact that Kamala Harris is only reason she had any kind of success in her early career is because she gave a blowjob to a married man, that's off limits.
I can't say that. Talk about it. I have to go to confession to hear that. So I have to ask you, I've got a couple of millennial questions, but what do you think of darling Zuckerberg coming out yesterday singing like a canary, saying that he was part of the, holding back the Hunter laptop and suppressing COVID stuff. And I've been suppressed so many times on Facebook that I hate them. That's why I kind of like X, but I have been pissed because now twice I've been in X jail, and once I was in like 24-hour holding.
I want to answer this. I will, I promise. But I'm just curious. Why did you get suspended? Like, what was the reasoning they gave? I'm just trying to figure this out because I think a bunch of Democrats have reported me.
Mine was hate.
I think they reported me.
Because the first time I said, good job, and it was one sentence, good job, Biden, for kicking Netanyahu in the guts. That was the first one. And then the one I just was suspended for was when Kamala, I said she's not going to show up to the debate because she's going to say she has COVID. And that's exactly what I wrote. And I see more F words spelled out and real violence and then people telling me I need to die. And these are the two that got me in jail for a week. It sucked. So I wish Elon Musk would wake up on this.
X is not a free speech platform.
No, it's not fully.
That's. I mean, people want to believe that he bought it, and it's. I mean, the only difference now is, I don't know what the difference is actually, because I never got suspended before, but now that he's bought it, I get suspended, and I can't say stuff all the time. I mean, I remember before he bought it, I called Joy Reid a bimbo. I said she was a bimbo. I wrote an article about her being a bimbo.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. So that was a hate speech, and so they suspended me.
A bimbo?
And now
now I spell everything. After this last time, I've let's see. Right now, I've got 4.6 million impressions since the last couple months. So I'm definitely growing. But a bimbo, So like COVID, I'll respell. Bullshit, I'll respell. Like
I mean, think about this. This is what they're claiming that Elon Musk is the hero and solved. He hasn't.
Yeah.
And look. Elon Musk is not involved in X, really. I mean, the guy's a billionaire who has multiple companies, SpaceX. He's out there saving NASA astronauts because our own government can't save them. So I don't mean any hate towards Elon Musk, and I'm not unrealistic. I understand that a CEO of 30 different billion-dollar companies, he's not running them. He doesn't know that Drew Allen or Veronica got suspended, and he doesn't care. I get it. I don't have a cell phone. I can't text him and whatever else. But X has not changed that much. They really haven't.
Well, it is frustrating because I see so much stuff on there that they should be in jail for, and they're not. And so I mean, back to Facebook, we've got Zuckerberg, going, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I won't do this. Yet my Panhandle Loves Trump page disappeared 6 months ago, and I never closed it. And then we've got what's really scary is the Pavel Durov, the Telegram founder, was arrested in Paris, and today they're saying it's almost a $6 million bail that he's going to have to do. But that scares me. And then the UK is people are getting arrested for posting stuff on their social media. I'm very nervous if we don't win in November.
Look, I mean, 1984 is coming. It's already in the works, and if we lose this election, you can kiss your liberties goodbye, and you will spend your life in jail if you are a dissenter. This is happening rapidly. It's happening in our lifetimes right now. And this example of Pavel or whatever his name is, the former Russian, he now lives, I think, in Dubai or somewhere else. But anyway, he was born in Russia. The Telegram guy, I mean, this is a perfect example. I mean, he's not quite as powerful and influential as Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, and so he's kind of a low-hanging fruit for them. He's wealthy enough and relevant enough that they think that they can make him an example and scare people into acquiescence to their
it says he's worth
tyrannical appeals.
15 billion is how much he's worth, if that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money to be thrown in a Parisian jail.
Say, Drew, I'm just curious, where you see Telegram, because I read some stuff about what the idea behind Telegram is, and it is supposed to be like the ultimate free speech, we're not going to censor you kind of thing. And I know it's widely used in Europe, Ukraine, the Russian, a lot of the Russian, I won't say state people do, but, they use it as a communications media as an underground kind of thing.
Well, it's exactly. I mean, it's nothing crazy about Telegram. Just it's like encrypted. So, AT&T is going to go and turn your text messages over to the J6 committee, so you're not safe. Our own government can order AT&T and they'll comply no matter what. Telegram is something where they're saying, no, anything that you exchange here in this space is actually not going to be given away to a government. You actually can have free speech here. That's it. So obviously, if the three of us wanted to decide we wanted to rob a bank, and you and I got a message going on Telegram, and we went and robbed a bank, what they're saying is that this guy is responsible. Telegram's responsible for the bank robbery.
No, and I don't feel that way. I do not feel that he is responsible for, because when I see X-rated crap on X, that's not Elon Musk. That's who's put it on there that's responsible for that crap.
Well, the point I would make is that, okay, if you're going to hold, okay, let's hold okay, you and I are having a phone conversation right now, and we plan the bank robbery. Are you going to go and put the AT&T CEO in jail because I had a conversation on? So let me put it this way. So they want to say he's responsible for every organized, crime or whatever else that happens on Telegram via Telegram. Well, why don't we go and put Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in prison for the 320,000 missing kids who are now being sex trafficked in this country because of their open border? How about the policies that are getting American civilians murdered by illegals? I'm not playing this game.
Well, I love it. Well, it's always a blast. What did we miss? What did we miss, Drew?
Oh, well, I mean, we're just waiting on pins and needles to see if Kamala Harris will actually have a debate with Donald Trump at all. She's trying to rewrite the rules at the last minute. She wants it seeded with notes. Think about this. She's such a stupid person that she can't even try and do what Joe Biden attempted with no audience standing at a podium. Kamala Harris, a great replacement for Joe. Yeah.
Well, and then the whole hot mic thing, because we were just talking with the former congressman, and I thought Trump did very well debating Biden. He kind of held it together. He was a gentleman overall. I mean, there was a couple times because Biden was an idiot, So, when he said, "I don't know what he said."
If anybody was a bully. Yeah, if anybody was a bully, it was Biden. He tried to be a bully. I mean, that guy's notorious. This is the thing, I don't understand people like the congressman. I mean, he represents many, many people out there, but all they want to do is attack Trump all the time. It's like they don't say anything about these other people, but we got to attack. I mean, what are you talking about? We're running against communism, and you want to spend your time saying Trump's not a good candidate? Shut up.
Well, we need to come together, and we're running out of time. And this woman is giving her first interview on Thursday, tomorrow on CNN, prime time. And oh gosh, Drew, we've got to win it desperately here.
Yes, because you get it, and John gets it, and I get it, and the congressman does not. So anyway, whatever.
Well, it's part of that neoconservative world government view, that is where he comes from, and I just I don't agree with that. We believe in America
how
first.
How old is he? Do you think? I'm pissed because you know what? I'm 37.
Well, he's
I got
retired.
one daughter
He's
running
retired.
around right now.
Well,
he's retired. That's fine.
Well, he's 3
That's
years
fine.
younger. I'm 69. He's 66. You know.
Okay, great. He'll be dead when I'm cleaning up the mess of all this. You know. So I've got one daughter that's running around in front of me right now. She just fell down and she had a little blood in her mouth. That's all good. And then I got another daughter that's going to be born in January. Veronica, I don't know if you've told people whatever your news is, but that thing's going on. Excuse me if I'm not sympathetic with old people who are like, I can't stomach Trump. I can't stomach him. If we have to have Kamala Harris, so what? Like Mitt Romney and all these
I can't handle
Kamala.
out there. Can you imagine 4 years of Kamala trying to eat some Doritos in front of Putin? No, we cannot. So these mothers, soccer mom, whoever that are having issues that want to abort babies yet they are having children. I'm done with you. Abortion is murder. I'm tired of it because right now here in Florida we've got Amendment 4, and I've got to have somebody on because all of a sudden this amendment's on our a free for all on abortion that people have spent all this money trying to kill babies, and I thought DeSantis had honed it down to 6 weeks for an abortion, which is still awful to me. But anyways, I'm done. We've got to win it, Drew. Our future for our children and grandchildren, it's too important.
But the thing is we are operating in a post-constitutional society right now. Our government is post-constitutional, and the problem is you have Republicans, traditional Republicans, that want to say, we're a constitutional republic. We need to follow the Constitution. It's like those rules are all gone, and I had a hard time coming. I had a hard time coming to that conclusion. I really did, because I'm like, hey, this Constitution was people died for this thing, and this is what we need to follow. And we don't need to be like the Democrats. And it's like, we're way past that point.
Well, the Dems are always trying to tweak it. And it's
well, we're not playing the same game, though. Thank
God our
they're
founding
playing
fathers
a different game than we are.
The Electoral College, I'm like, I don't know.
It's all brilliant,
knew.
Veronica, but they're playing a different game. And
well,
we're
they don't
not
play fair, and they lie, and they steal.
Right.
And yesterday, Drew, my guest was a comedian, Josh Denny, out of L.A. that was canceled because he was a Trumper, and he was on the Food Network, had 35 million people watching, and blah, blah, blah. And he talked about how he's in L.A., he's still in L.A. working hard, and there's videos that he actually saw of people like in an apartment building gathering all the ballots that were sent out, because California sent ballots out to everybody, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going to fill we're going to fill these in," and they posted about it, and which is a crime. So I'm very worried about the steal too. So hopefully we get past it all and win this.
Well, yeah, it's going to be litigated. Look, people just have to do everything they can to win this election. Like, we can't play the speculation game. We know this is unfair. This latest Jack Smith attempt to indict Trump again before the November election.
I'm throwing
more
up.
Election interference. They tried to assassinate Trump, and they don't even talk about it. But they'll still talk about January 6th. But they won't mention the attempted assassination that was a result of, well, we don't know. But there were more people involved in this kid, certainly, and the more information that comes out, the more the worse it looks for the Democrats and everyone else. But, I'm not going to sit here and do what the Democrats do. But, if you're paying attention to what's going on with that kid who tried to take out Trump,
oh, my gosh, I have so many questions.
Everything else.
Yeah, I have so many questions, and nobody's answering them. Well, it's always a pleasure. We'll have you back. We've been talking to Drew Allen, the Millennial Minister of Truth, and you have your TV show on Patriot TV, and everybody can always follow Veronica live. I'm on X, trying to stay out of jail weekly.
Sometimes, yeah.
And then we're on Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, everything. Drew, always a pleasure, and thanks for joining Veronica Live today.
Oh, thanks. Love talking to y'all. Bye.